Hello. Hi, and welcome to Book Club. Welcome replay viewers. Welcome those of you hopping on right now. We are at our Boomerang Book Club for the book, What the Moon Saw. All right. Okay, I'm in a friend's office. Hi guys. Good to have everyone popping in. Whew, it's kind of a bold light there going on. We're just making do, not at my house. Oh, drop something. Drop the book. All right, for those of you that don't know, my name is Mary Wilson, and I blog and Periscope and Instagram, all the social media stuff at Not Before 7. The blog is at notbefore7.com. And all of these book clubs, if you're interested in what you see here today, all of my past book clubs are now on my blog. There's a menu at the top that says homeschooling, literature, and then book clubs. So that's how you can find them. But tonight, what we are doing is our celebration book club for What the Moon Saw. This was a Boomerang book title from Brave Writer. You can go to bravewriter.com and buy the guide for this, which is what I use to study the book at my home. But then we get together once a month with friends and we kind of celebrate the book using food and music and whatever we can that are based on the theme of the book, and we call it Party School. So here we are doing some Party School. First, I want to tell you a little bit about the book because I had never heard of this one. This is a fantastic book. This is about connections. It's about connections between people and family and our past and our present. And it is a beautiful story. It is what is called magical realism. It's a genre of books that allows fantasy, but instead of creating a world for the fantasy like Middle Earth, the fantasy is placed magically in our own world so that you kind of believe it could happen. I learned all that from my Boomerang guide through Brave Writer. So if you go to bravewriter.com, you can look through guides to these books, and that's actually where I learned that information. Okay, so this was a beautiful story. It has been beautiful. It was Kaya's favorite. One of the girls, this was her favorite. It's the story of a young girl in America, and her father is from Mexico, and her mother is from America, and she is 14, and she just feels a loneliness. And she ends up going to Mexico for the summer to meet her grandparents for the first time. And they live in a small village in Mexico, not the cities, not the beaches. She has to take like 3 or 4 bus rides just to get to their village. And she spends the summer with them. So you've got a lot of cultural things going on with people's opinions of America, with her adjusting to what she expected versus what she saw. And then you have this beautiful story of her getting to know her own father through the time in his hometown and getting to know her grandmother. And just woven through all that are the connections between people. And in fact, I thought I would share with you from my Golden Line book. This is where I write my favorite quote of the books that I read. And just hold it up. And so this is the one from What the Moon Saw. And every book that we've read for book club, and a lot of the books I've read on my own this year, I put in my favorite line. So I'm going to read this to you because I thought it was really beautiful. And it's what this book is really about. Should I walk over there barefoot like Abuelita did more than 2 full moons ago? The only thing stopping me was some kind of pride mixed with shame. Maybe it was the same thing that kept Dad from visiting his parent, or at least writing them a real letter. Maybe what people really wanted was to touch souls with other people, but the problem was that other things kept getting in the way. I thought of Donna Carmen and her husband and Sylvia and Uncle Jose, who would be my great-great-uncle. What each of them really wanted were threads of love, like a spider web, connecting them with others, but they couldn't quite get it right. Beautiful. It's like the theme of this story. So I just wanted to share that, but I have a bunch of girls waiting to do book club, and I'm going to show you what we're doing to celebrate. Okay, so you're going to see the girls, you're going to see our food set up, and what they're doing in here. So smile, girls.
I have food in my mouth.
All right, I'm focusing on the food then now. Okay. All right, so we have some Mexican decor. This is awesome. Going on here.
There we go.
Guacamole, beans, chips, and salsa. And then what was interesting in the book, at one point the girl is with her grandparents in the village and she's eating squash flour tortillas. Now we tried to find squash flour. It's the wrong season, so we're just making tortillas. But her grandmother says this was your father's favorite food. And in her mind, she thinks in her head, no, my father's favorite food are marshmallow fudge brownies. So thanks, Quinn. Thanks for giving us your daughter for the night. So that's why there's marshmallow fudge brownies here, because that's her father's favorite food. Even though the favorite food that the mom knows is the squash flour tortillas. And then we just have some other fun stuff to eat. But what's going on back here is the girls are actually making their own tortillas. So I'm going to show them real quick. This is the dough. What is this, a tortilla press?
Yes.
This is a tortilla
press. Out
press.
Like this, and then you flatten it.
And then you flatten it down to your own tortilla. And then you cook it over here on the pan, and then you can eat fresh tortilla. Kaya, your dad says put you to work.
Oh no.
And then we have some toppings. We have basic just jelly and butter if you want. Or then you can use the salsa, do whatever you want with your tortilla. So the girls are making their own tortillas, which is kind of a fun experience, even though we couldn't find the squash flour. But we did try. I think you can order on Amazon, but it's not cheap out of season, so it just wasn't worth it. I know, right. It's just the wrong season to do it. All right, so that's all. We're going to get started. And we're going to have our book discussion. Oh, I'll show you the boomerang guide really quickly because I brought it tonight for discussion. And I think we are going to have a good time. It's always fun. And I remind people, you know, with party school, you can go all out or you can go really simple. Food is a big one. The girls love food. Who doesn't love food? Mexican music would be fantastic to play during this particular book club. And as much as you wanted to get into the Mexican American theme, you could. Lots of fun. The that I use at home, my printer was running out of ink. Sorry, when I printed this one, let's come over here in the light. Ooh, why is Periscope so blurry today? But this is what the moon saw. You can't quite see it, but there's the boomerang. So if you head to bravewriter.com, this gives you copywork passages, and in the back are think piece questions, and those are what we will use for the basis of our discussion. So thanks for popping in, guys, and I'm going to go off and we're going to discuss this magical, realistic book and just talk about connections. So thanks, Vicki. We are going to have a great time, and thanks for tuning in, Jeanette. I saw you here. Good, Rick. That's Daisy, correct? Oh, the book. It is, these girls are all in 7th and 8th grade, and the boomerang is written for 7th through 10th grade. I keep saying 7th through 12th, but I looked the other day. It's actually 7th through 10th. So yes, this book was definitely on their level. A 6th through 8th grader could really handle it. Do note that there is like an out-of-body experience going on in the book. There's this deep spirituality about the spirit leaving the body and also having spirit animals. But all of that is part of that magical realism. So just kind of know that's going on in case you want to discuss that with your child ahead of time. Some of the girls here were confused, like, does that really happen to people? So that's a discussion you might want to have, and we will tonight at book club. But part of the magical realism is not having to obey the laws of our reality, and yet accepting it as if those things could happen without needing further explanation. So again, that I learned in the Boomerang Guide, so that was really helpful for my understanding of this book. So I highly recommend. The copy work in here was great too. All right, any other questions before I go back in? I hope that clears it up. So thank you all, and I will see you this weekend or next week. Bye-bye. Oh, I hate pausing on in here. So we'll just look at this title.